Alright, first lesson, and I need to warn you, I'm going to sound funny because I'm getting over a cold. My throat's all messed up. So you might hear me my voice cracking and coughing and just sounding rather off. So sorry about that. Yeah, you actually had really good impressive stuff in that video that you sent over. I was really happy with hearing how you changed chords so well. With like just stuff like that. Your pull-offs, the technique was fantastic. Like you had every finger down in advance. They were ready to go for the pull-off. So technique is looking really good. Like yeah, the biggest thing I noticed was I think there might just be a misunderstanding on the palm mute stuff. So that's what we're going to start with for the first lesson is working on some palm mute accent pattern material. And then, we'll go from there. So there is a video I have that is like, I think about 15 minutes long, and it's about how to practice your lessons. So instead of me going through that entire thing in this video, like I want you to watch that one. So there is a link to that video in my email signature, but I will do my best to remember to put that link in your actual message along with the video you're watching right now. Basically, please watch that. It's super important. It covers how I want you to practice, how, adding in like repetition stuff, which I'm going to talk about here in a second. Basically the idea is you're going to start at 60 beats per minute every day you practice. You play through what you have to play one time correctly. As soon as you play it correctly once, you go up 5 beats per minute, and then you do it again. So everyone, for the most part, has a time limit for this stuff. And the reason why is because you really don't need much more time than what's given to you to get really good, efficient practice. So we just got the one thing we're working on here. So you should be able to reach a maximum speed for yourself in about 15 minutes or less. Now, if you don't reach a maximum speed, that's okay. This is a brand new thing for us. So it's not a bad thing if you don't max out in less than 15 minutes. But basically, I want you to give yourself 15 minutes to work this up as fast as you can, accurately. So it's very important that you focus on the accuracy, not the speed. Speed is a byproduct of playing fast, or speed is a byproduct of playing accurately at faster and faster tempos. I know there's a language barrier, at least a little bit. If there's anything I say that's confusing, please let me know. I'm going to do my best to word things to be as easily understood as possible. But with it being video correspondence, sending stuff back and forth, I understand that I might say something and it could come across as very confusing because sometimes I stumble over my words, or it's like I don't know how to talk sometimes, so especially when I'm sick. Anyway, so yeah, 15 minutes, get it up as fast as you can. And so basically, without the repeats, you're going to play this. And I'm going to demonstrate how this should go. And then in that video I mentioned that talks about how to do your practice, it talks about time limits and adding in repetitions and all that stuff. So again, please watch that. It is very important. It is crucial to understanding what to do. Okay. So yeah, for you, I do have it marked as without the repeats. You're going to work it up as fast as you can in 15 minutes. And then after 15 minutes goes by, you're going to start adding in repetitions. So basically, you're going to play through this whole thing twice, then 3 times, and then 4 times. That's the big goal there. So you spend first 15 minutes getting it as fast as you can, and then you spend 5 minutes adding in repetitions. So I don't want you to go over 20 minutes total on this. If you end up going like 21, 22 minutes, it's not the end of the world. It's not a big deal. But I want you to have that goal of getting it done within that time frame. So basically, 15 to 20 minutes of working on this should be enough, as long as you do it efficiently. You go in, you get the work done, and just follow that whole metronome method. So that's another thing I'm going to include is download to the metronome method ebook. But you said you're on Patreon, so you should have that. I'm going to include a link to it, or not a link to it. I'm going to attach it to the email, just in case you didn't download it before. But you should have received an email when you signed up for Patreon that gave you like download links to that book. But anyway, so if you have not read it yet, please at least read the beginning. That's going to go over a lot of what you and I will do, like the principles involved, how we're going to approach practice and all that stuff. So I want you to do all downstrokes on this, because when you do all downstrokes for palm mute stuff like this, it sounds far more aggressive versus doing alternate picking. You could do alternate picking on it, but it just doesn't sound as heavy. So I could play this with alternate picking. But to me, and most people, it sounds, again, more aggressive, all downstrokes. So like if I stay with that first bar and I go between all downstrokes and all upstrokes, yeah, it's like a subtle difference. It's kind of small, but sometimes small differences make a big impact. So palm mute accent pattern, yes. Looking at this and more closely. So this chord does not have any palm mutes, but these three do. So that PM is for palm mute, and then you got that little broken up line there going across to show that we're going to palm mute those three chords in a row. So no palm mute there, 3 palm mutes in a row. No palm mutes, 3 palm mutes in a row. So we're going to work this up without the repeats, and then you add in repetitions at the end. So what I'm going to do is demonstrate this at some different speeds so you know exactly how it should sound, and so you can compare your performance with the video. I'm not going to be working this up in 5s because it would be, well, just too much to do for every single student. I'd never finish stuff. But if there's like a specific speed you need, just let me know. Also, if you could let me know if you have Guitar Pro, that would be good. In your email, you'll have the Guitar Pro file and a PDF file, just in case you don't have Guitar Pro. If you don't have it, I highly recommend getting it. It is a fantastic learning tool. It can really make practice a lot easier, especially for really difficult things. Okay, let's see. Sorry, feeling like out of breath here. I am not fully recovered from being sick. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is start at 60, which is going to be the speed you start at every day, no matter how fast you get. And one more thing. So when it's time for you to turn in your next video, what I want you to do is just record your entire final practice session unedited. So just when it's time for you to do that last practice session, just start recording the video, playing along, and this way, I want to see how you're starting off, like how things kind of go in the middle, how you're finishing at the end, and making sure you understand how to add in the repetitions as well. So for the first video, definitely send the entire final practice session. And then when it's time to make any changes in a video submission, I'll let you know. But once again, because it is important, for your first video submission, please record the entire full final practice session you do in the week before you send me your stuff, including the repeats and all that. I just want to make sure everything is going the best way possible so I can help you the best I can. Okay. Count of 4, 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, this last chord, I have it marked as a whole note, but to keep things moving along quickly, we're not going to let that ring out all 4 beats. Just hit that chord and move on right away. And in case you don't know, because I never asked, those are 8th notes, so you get 2 notes per click. I assume you know what that is because of how you played things in your initial video demonstration. So you were playing 8th notes correctly, but in case you didn't know the name, that's what those are, 8th notes. All right, I'm going to play it at 120 next. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. $160. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. $200. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's as fast as I'm going to go. So now I'm going to demonstrate adding in your repetitions. So it does talk about what to do for your repeats in that video I mentioned earlier on how to practice your lessons. It also talks about it a little bit up here. So yeah, once the 15 minutes is reached, you're going to add in a repetition. So whatever speed you got to in those 15 minutes, you're going to try doing a repeat there. Now, when you're trying to do your repeats, if you just cannot get the repeats at whatever speed you're trying, for example, 200. So let's say you cannot get two times through at the 200, drop it down to 190 and try it there. And then when you're trying to play it 3 times through, if you can't play it at 190, we'll drop it down to 180 and try it there. So basically, keep lowering the speed during the repetitions in order to get the repetitions you're working on. Thought there was something else I needed to say. I think that's about it. Oh, right. And this is talked about in that video as well. Basically, give 3 really solid attempts, 3 really good attempts at whatever repetition you're on. After 3 times, if you're still not able to get it, just drop the metronome 10 beats per minute and try it again. We don't want to be spending, too much time trying to add in a repetition at a speed that's just taking too much time. So we don't want to spend like the entire 5 minutes, for the repetition stuff. So remember, you got your 15 minutes of working it up, and then 5 minutes to add in the repeats. We don't want to spend the entire 5 minutes trying to add in just 1 extra repetition at the same speed, because again, we want to work efficiently, practice efficiently. So there's nothing wrong with slowing it down. It's part of practice. It has to happen. And, if you're hitting a true maximum speed in less than 15 minutes, so let's say you get to 220 in less than 15 minutes, and it was very, very difficult to play at 220. When you go to add in your repetition, if you truly maxed out in less than 15 minutes, you're going to have to drop the speed right away anyway. Because if you truly played a maximum speed of 220 without the repeat, there's no way you're getting a plane through twice, because it's just going to be too difficult, too much. So anyway, again, that's all talked about in that video I mentioned. So let's try playing this twice through at the 200. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, let's try it 3 times. That's definitely makes the biceps tired. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's definitely getting tired there. Alright, so now I'm going to try 4 repetitions. That's the main goal to get. See if I fatigue too much during this, if I have to lower the speed at all. Yeah, playing guitar is more difficult when you're sick. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, so that's it. That's the first lesson there. Just get where you can within the week. So again, please watch that video that details how to practice your lessons. Watch this video as many times as you need to. If there's anything you do not understand, please send me an email. Let me know what I can clear up. And when you go to do your final practice session, your last practice session before you turn in stuff, record the whole thing. I want you to video record the entire final practice session, unedited, including the repeats at the end. This way I can make sure everything is going exactly how we want it to, so you can get the most out of this stuff. All right. Any questions, let me know. I will see you again in your next video.